Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about how to use Angular's datepicker and timepicker together. Angular datepicker has been around all the time. You select a date. The timepicker is very new, about 4 months old. It was released with the Angular 19, actually less than 4 months old. A lot of applications like the dentist office, restaurant, you want to make reservations, you want a user to pick a date, then pick 2 hours at 9 to 10, 11 to 12, whatever. So behind the scene, you need 2 date objects. So each date object will store the date, the hour, minute. We don't care about a second or millisecond. So you need 2 date objects. My original solution is to use 2 date objects to store a time interval, which seems logic, but it runs into issues. The reason is that Angular's datepicker and timepicker, they're not perfectly dovetailed. They each have full date and a full time. So there's this overlapping, and they step on each other's toes. For example, the datepicker, the default behavior is that whenever you pick a new date, the hour will return to 0 midnight automatically. This is reasonable because if you just use the datepicker, you do not want to have date 1 to be 2 a.m. in the morning and date 2 to be 11 p.m. in the evening, and the 2 dates in the end has a time difference of not being a multiple of 24 hours. That's going to be a problem. So the date picker resets the hour and minute to 0 by design. So my original solution is to override this behavior. Whenever you pick a new date, I will use 2 functions. Actually, it's called operators, IXJS operators, start with, which insert a new value before any other values for unobservable. So I would grab its previous hour, previous time, and then I use another operator called pairwise. I would emit 2 values, the previous value and the current value. So whenever you pick a new date, the current value is always midnight. I would use the previous value, the previous maybe 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever that is, to override this midnight hour. This seems to be working until you pick date twice, because you never know what the client will do, right? They pick 10 o'clock, then pick, 10th and the 25th, it resets to midnight. So it works if you pick dates once, but if picked twice, it goes back to midnight. So I'm sure there is a way to programmatically resolve this issue. Subscribe to value changer, do something too, but it's just too much trouble. So my second solution is very different. You can see here the first solution, we have a date that feed into this date, the time, and another date feed into the second time object. So whenever this date changes, I subscribe to its value changes event, and I would set the second date to be the same, the date part to be the same as the first date. Yeah, and I will also use the 2 operators, the start with and pairwise, to override the resetting to midnight behavior. But it's not working perfectly because if you pick the dates twice, you go to midnight again. So my second solution is very straightforward. I have 3 dates. The date 1 is for picking a date, date 2 is for picking the start time, and date 3 is for picking the end time. Because they're completely independent dates, it doesn't matter what you pick. It does not impact the other guys. So this relation is much simpler than this relation. This is too convoluted. So this is very straightforward. But when I submit, what I do, I grab the date from the first date and discard the time. I grab the time from the second date, which is the start time, and I grab the time from the third date, which is the end time, and I use these date part, time part to assemble a payload of a time interval, so that these 3 guys become completely independent. So by adding another date object, you solve the problem. So now I will show some of my source code. So this is my first solution. You can see in my onInit lifecycle hook, I subscribe to this value changes event of the start date. Whenever the start date changes, I grab the previous value using the start with operator and the pairwise operator to patch it with the second value. Now I can patch the hour of the start date to the new date. So this workaround does not work very well because when you click the date twice, select the date twice, it reverts to midnight. So my second solution, I think, is much smarter. You can see I created a custom class. That's module models here. Let me see where it is. Timepicker. Module models here. I have another video showing me how to generate this class by artificial intelligence, the GitHub Copilot. It's very easy. So I have a DateWrapper class that assigns the date part and time part to a new date object. So this is a lifesaver. It makes the logic so much easier. So using this DateWrapper class, my code is greatly simplified. On submit, I just assign the date part of the datepicker to the start time and end time, and I'm all set. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Feel free to check out the source code. I have the GitHub link in the comment section. Thank you.